Hi Wisecrack, sorry for the fact that this video is red, but it actually kind of meets my mood when it comes to your video. I watched your video, What Went Wrong with the Big Bang Theory. You're going into it too deep. Way, way too deep. You guys are the most educated idiots I've ever seen. No offense, I love your videos, but when you're delving into something as simple as a TV show, there's problems. See, everybody thinks that the jokes are about the references and how geeky everybody is, how nerdy everybody is, the math, the science, the movie references, game references, etc., etc., etc. That's not what it's about. It's about the characters. About Sheldon, Leonard, Penny, Amy, Howard, Raj, Bernadette. It's about the characters, not what they're immersed in. Yes, you have something kind of right with the reality of the subject, but you're going in a way different direction. It's about how they relate to each other, not to their references. How they grow with each other, they develop with each other. In the beginning, Sheldon's even more unbearable than he is in the current season, which actually, they ended that season. It's about how Leonard was this weak, whining, sniveling little thing who we were like, there's no way in hell he's going to get Penny in the end. Well, so far, he's gotten her. They're married. We thought Sheldon would never even have a girlfriend, let alone be married. Like he just got married at the end of the last season. Same thing with Leonard. Oh, not with Leonard. Pardon me. Same thing with Howard. Howard was a big-ass freaking pervert. Sometimes he made Quagmire look innocent. He made people that uncomfortable. Raj, completely mute. Would he ever talk to a girl? Who knows? I'm happy to report he has. He now does, and he can without alcohol. See, it's how they develop. And they develop in relation to each other. Not to the references, not to the fact that they're into Battlestar Galactica or Star Trek or Star Wars or whatever. That's just their medium. It's how they work through things. You'll see that with Sheldon several times if you actually watch the show. Okay? Let's get back on Leonard for a minute. He started out, I saw him as the hero of the whole piece. He was the person I latched on to first because, in reality, I'm kind of like Leonard. Not as smart as him. I don't have like a doctorate in physics or anything. But personality-wise, I related the most to him. And so, watching him, look at Penny across the hallway with these big eyes, going, "She's beautiful, and I'm gonna have her babies one day, or she's gonna have my babies someday." What was it? Our babies will be both smart and beautiful. That's what he said. We were like, yeah, right. You'll end up with the hot neighbor. Whatever. Speaking of the hot neighbor, Penny, she starts out as this generic blonde, wanting to be an actress, sort of cookie-cutter character. She was very 2D. But that's how she was supposed to be. That was her starting point in her character arc. Sorry, this thing mirrors. So, all these characters have a baseline. Even when Amy and Bernadette are introduced, they have a baseline as well. Bernadette, she seems like the sweet, small, docile little thing. And Amy is, she appeared to be basically a female version of Sheldon. And so these assumptions that we had about these characters end up turning on their heads by our current season. Because of how the characters relate to each other. It's about the characters. We, as humans, are social creatures. We are pack animals, just like any dog you'll find. Like, for instance, my brother's dog follows him around everywhere. Will constantly play with my mom and my sister. He wants to be in the middle of the action, just like we humans do. That's why dogs are man's best friend. And so, in a social dynamic, you learn from each other. You rub off on each other. I mean, heck, that's why couples seem like they're more related than they are couples after being together for years. Like my husband and I, you look at the two of us, you think we were the same person sometimes. My siblings, same thing. We relate to each other on that sort of level. And that's where the jokes lie with the Big Bang Theory. The joke is not that Sheldon's, rambling off this big scientific explanation for something simple. Yeah, you can take that as that's supposed to be the joke. No, what actually is the joke is the exasperation from the other characters going, oh my god, Sheldon, you just explained a doorknob in the most convoluted way. Or his roommate agreement. Taking something that's so simple of saying, hey, can you try to keep the heat down? It's really hot in here. To, okay, Article 600, subparagraph B, subparagraph 0.56970 or something. He takes it and complicates it where everybody's exasperated, and that's the joke. Okay? That's what's supposed to be funny. How he relates to them. That's what's supposed to be funny. And when it comes to the video games and comic books and all that kind of stuff, that's how normal people perceive us geeks. And I say us because I am one. That's how the outside world sees them. And so that's the joke overarching. Okay? It's the stereotype of the geek. That's the overarching joke of the entire series. But it's not supposed to be taken so literally to be every single little piece of geeky information that the show provides. Okay? Now my battery is dying. I don't know how much longer I have, but I'm going to explain this to you. Going back to, say, Penny. How she started off this cardboard cookie character. She goes from being this generic, blonde, beautiful neighbor next door to a woman with feelings, with depth, with complications of her own, family members of her own, a history. She ends up growing being with Leonard and the others, learning scientific principles and stuff like that to end up following along. She was the dumb blonde type. She develops. That's what's going on with that. Look at Bernadette. We think she's the sweetest thing since sugar. Oh no. We find out she is a colossal bitch at her job. So, not so sweet. Speaking of Bernadette, let's turn to her husband, Howard. Like I said, he starts out as the big pervert that makes every woman he's around uncomfortable and their skin crawl, to being a loving family man. Married to Bernadette and having 2 children. 2. We learn that he has daddy issues, he has mommy issues, that he had a letter from his dad that was given to him the day his dad left, that he never opened. How is that for character depth? Heck, Sheldon goes from this computer type of person, he's basically a robot, to a human that's less, he's less computer and more human by the time he and Amy get married. Amy, another good example. She seems a bit of the human computer type, more computer than human, but she ends up making friends with Penny and Bernadette and growing into this warm, beautiful, jovial, sweet woman to be around. She never had female friends. She was always picked on by the popular girls. I know how that is. And so she she grows in her friendships with Amy, with Bernadette and Penny. Amy becomes more human. That's where my relation to the characters shifted, because Amy was me. Not only in character type, but in looks as well. So it gave me someone else to relate to. And speaking of the females versus the males, the females don't even get the whole geeky thing. Like, they try reading comic books while the boys go to Comic-Con, and they're like, what is this garbage? So there's that dynamic in there too. They tried to understand their significant others, and it just didn't click. Now Raj has had the biggest growth of anybody in the series. He started out being completely mute around women. Completely. Couldn't talk to him to save his life unless he was drunk, and then he made a complete ass out of himself. Ends up in, I believe, season 7. He has a girlfriend. She breaks up with him because they're both neurotic, and she's more neurotic than he is, that it finally breaks him out of it. He can talk to women without a problem. I mean, Penny nearly faints when Raj talks to her without alcohol in his system. That's where everything lies. That's what makes the show a good show to those of us that love it. It's the character relationships, how they can interconnect and weave. Not the stupid superficial shit that you went digging into because you don't understand. Pull your head out of the books for a minute and into reality and into social interaction. That's where everything lies. Okay, Wisecrack? Otherwise, I absolutely love your guys' videos. I mean, the philosophy of Watchmen is one of my favorites. Same thing with the philosophy of Negan and the philosophy of The Walking Dead. Those are some of my very favorite episodes that you guys have made, or videos you guys have made. So don't take this as I'm hating on your channel. Absolutely love your channel. Just hate the ignorance and the unwillingness to give it a chance and seeing it from the wrong angle. Just like Tadashi said in Big Hero 6, look at it from a different direction or angle or whatever it was. The spirit of that quote is in what I said. I hope you guys have a nice day, night, whatever time it is when you finally see this video, which will probably be buried under freaking everything in the world. Have a good day. Thanks for watching.